Hey, how's it going, everyone? Here's part 2 of the video of my Supermoto build. Not everything's there, obviously. Still waiting on the engine. It was supposed to be done a couple weeks ago, but had an issue, and it's all been taken care of, and now the thing's being put together, and should have it this weekend, and hopefully have the bike running this week, and maybe I still have to do some other things before I can make that happen. But this video is just going to be about a 15-minute long video overview of my bike and what I've got going on with it, and how it sits now. So we'll just kind of start from the front and work our way to the back. The wheels are Marchesini wheels, made in Italy. Probably some of the best looking mag wheels that you can find for these bikes. They're definitely a lot cheap. Brand new, you're thinking about $2,500 bucks. I got these used for $800, and all they needed was a refinishing. Had a powder coating job done to them with a gloss black, and then that was about it. So they work perfect. It's a 16.5 front and 17 rear. The rear is a 5.4 inch wide rear. I don't know why Marchesini went to a 5.4, but most everybody just goes 5.5. So it is a 180 tire. It looks enormous compared to like a 4 1/4 rim and I don't know, like a 160 tire, maybe a 150, depending on what them guys run. But this is actually a swing arm that it's attached to off an Aprilia SXV 450 or 550. I bought it off of a local guy. I met him on singles.com, Motor City Supermoto. And I bought that off of him. Just kidding, guys. But bought it off of him and fitted it to the bike. Had some machining work done. Had to make my own wheel spacers in there. There's one here, and then there's two on this side. There's one inside of that brake caliper mount right there that I had to set the spacing. I don't know how much you guys can see that. Had to set the spacing of the rotor to the brake caliper, and then we ended up whacking off the brake caliper or mount stay that was right here that basically holds this from moving, and we had to put an extended one on there. So that was fun, and then had it all powder coated like I said, and then that's a braking rear caliper with a carbon fiber guard from Lightspeed, and then also got a carbon fiber guard for the bottom there, and then a Core MX stainless steel red braided brake line, and then I got some more hammerhead bling, just a reservoir cap, no real functionality, just so it looks good. Titanium banjo bolt with the safety holes drilled in it, and powder coated this the same color as my engine, and then I'm going to have to take this off, and I'm going to have that powder coated black. Every little detail is being taken care of on this bike. So we'll go back here where there's more white. We've also got the rear slide axle adjusters slash slider here. And I don't know if I said it, but these are replaceable. You can buy them from the same place that you get them. Guy's Toxic Moto. That's who I got them from, and that's who has them made. Really cool guy. He'll help you out. Email him and even talk about your build. And he's really into supermotos, so it's not like a big company that's just building stuff to make money off of you, you know. He's actually rides supermotos and that kind of stuff. This here is a titanium spool. It's just basically, a lot of the race guys have a little stand that you put it on, and you can put your tire warmers on your wheels and whatnot, and it also acts as a protection for when you crash. So, and with these, the swing arms, the Aprilia swing arm is quite a bit wider. It sticks out there. These look like they're going to keep it from getting too banged up if I drop it, but I'll probably end up putting a carbon fiber piece that goes on here, covers this whole thing up. I mean, it leaves this hole, so it, you know, it leaves the design and everything. But anyways, got the rear sprocket is a Super Sprox. It's probably one of the best sprockets on the market. It's not cheap. I had to have this one custom made. It was about a month to wait. It's a 40 tooth. And I have to have a carrier slash spacer made for the rear sprocket because Needs to come about 1/4 to 1/2 inch out, along with a custom made one that I'm going to have to make for the front to clear the tire. I don't know if I can get a good enough video of it, but if you can see where my finger's pointing, that's the sprocket, and you can see the tire clearance that I have. And I don't want any chain rubs, so that's going to be taken care of. I got a K&N air filter in there. Got a custom air filter bolt instead of that wing nut design that it's a pain in the butt. You can get it off so much easier off and on with that one that I've got in there. Got a seat concept seat. It's probably about 10 inches wide at the widest point, but it doesn't look awkward. It's not put together yet. Still have to get that done. What else? The airbox, the hole in it, yeah, that's not just going to be the way it is. I've got a carbon fiber piece here from Lightspeed. They come in a much larger size. I cut it down, but it's just to custom fit it to any airbox, and that's going to be being put on there, so that'll dress it up. I'm going to end up buying some of that 3M stick-on carbon fiber looking stuff, so that'll take care of all that, and then it'll look good. The fork tubes are anodized. The rear shock body's anodized. Got a new Airbox spring. Got new springs for my weight. Bigger guy, so I needed the heavy springs. And then Lightspeed fork guards. Have to trim them because they're made to work with dirt wheels. And then the Core MX stainless steel line for the front, red. Zeta bar clamp. Polysport fender, it's the UFX SM line, the Polysport headlight with, I already upgraded it to an HID bulb. If that doesn't work, there's a really nice LED kit that you can buy to put in it. Handguards, Fastway, had to buy those because the radial front master cylinder brake, it's a bit longer and bigger than a stock one, so I had some other guards on there, but it just wasn't big enough to fit. And the nice thing about this is it comes with this really fancy top clamp to work with steering stabilizers and being able to move it around for whatever one you have. And also probably work great if you got custom triple cheese or triple clamps, whatever you want to call them. I've got a Pro Taper bottom, bought it new for 30 bucks. They don't make them anymore, and I was just lucky to find that. And I got the new BRP Moto one, and I was trying to find one that everything was the same dimensions, holes, spacing, and everything as a stock one. I was as close as I could get. I think that is stock sized wise, but a lot of the customs top clamps, the handlebar spacing is different. So this would really come in handy because you can slide this back and forth. So if the holes are pushed forward more, then you can just push this back more towards your post right there. So, and then since we're down here, this is a Pro Bolt nut right here, anodized, and I don't know if I said it, but that's a Scott's steering stabilizer. Just another added safety precaution. Profile Pro Taper. Pro clutch lever. It does a bend forward thing so it won't break, but with these handguards I don't really have to worry about it. It's got this little adjustment knob and then the real fancy cable tightening twisty knob, whatever you want to call it. All the wiring's off of Baja Designs dual sport kit that I had on here before when it was in a dual sport mode or setup or whatever you want to call it, and I just gutted it and threw it on here because it comes with a regulator and all that. My engine actually has a Baja Designs stator in it. It's it's a rewind. It's of my stock one for a 90 watt. And they're the only company that I really know that makes a 90 watt setup for CRF450R, at least in my year. So this braking front master cylinder here is very adjustable. You loosen this up and then you can move it in and out. You can adjust it this front and backwards with this knob, and then you got a fine-tune adjustment right here for front and back spacing and whatnot. And then I have a titanium bolt holding on the brake cable right there, and then or the brake line, not cable. Also, I've got a Pro Taper profile. I think it's Profile is what it's called. Throttle tube with the bearing insert, and it's really smooth. Something's hanging up in there right now, but trust me, this is probably one of the smoothest throttle tubes you can put on there. It's not like the plastic one. It's got a bearing on the end of it that stabilizes it out, so that's pretty awesome. You can kind of see the rear shock body right there. It's all been anodized black and whatnot. I'm probably gonna have to, I'll put a sticker on here just to make it look better, or not. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with that. I'm trying to keep as many logos off the bike as possible for now, and then I got to really figure out what I'm gonna do for a graphics kit, or if I'm just gonna leave it all white like that. Kind of want something to make it look like it was like a factory racing setup, not like a lot of dirt bike ones where you've got logos all over it and whatnot. It's just like, I'd like CRF450R and then like a Supermoto underneath of it or something, just not too blingy. I mean, I've got a lot of bling on this bike, but it's very simple, and in my eyes anyways, it's not like super flashy. I mean, if you know what you're looking at, you're probably gonna be like, wow, but it's just not like a million different colors. I tried to stay with black, white, and red, and then obviously the way I did the frame, but I didn't want to do like everybody else. Everybody's got like a polished frame or a black frame or a white frame. I wanted to do something else, so I went with this bronze color here. I don't know if it's going to do it justice in this video, but that's the reason I went with that. So that's pretty much the bike though, guys. I think it looks pretty good so far. I don't really have any complaints. Just, you know, in a mock-up stage, like I said, just trying to get things figured out. Gonna see what's gonna need massaged or whatnot to work. So have to figure out how I'm gonna mount the headlight. Comes with a mounting setup there, but I'd rather have like a aluminum one made up that just directly bolts onto the factory spots instead of these plastic tabs that they have on it. And plus they're a bit longer, and I don't really want it to stick out that long. I want to suck it up in there as much as I possibly can, and then cover all this up so you can't see it. But I probably said I was going to try keeping this at 15 minutes, so I suppose I pretty much talked about most of the bike. I guess you can kind of see in there that stuff's not powder coated. It will be powder coated black. That's the rear shock linkage. All that, there's like two pieces in there. There's a dog bone and then the lowering link, and I have a whole nother set that's been powder coated, and I just got the bearings for it, so the guy's putting them in because I don't have a press or anything to do it. So that's getting done, so that'll be taken care of. But anyways, like I was saying, I was trying to keep it at 15 minutes, so I got about a minute and a half. I'll just keep going. I'll talk about the motor a little bit. The motor has been bored to a 468. It's just 2 millimeters more than stock. It's ported and polished head, plus 2 millimeter valves all the way around intake and exhaust. It's got stage 3 hot cams. It's, what else did I do to it? The piston's a JE forged piston. It's 12.5 to 1. I was going to go 13 or 13.5, but I didn't know if that would be too much, or we'll just see how it runs. I mean, I'm going to have to rebuild this bike probably once a year, depending on how much I ride it, so I can probably up the compression then. I got a bunch of carb work done that showed in the other video, so that'll help out a lot. I've got a billet, I think it's MSR was the company that made it, clutch basket with metal inserts on the teeth to keep it from wearing out. I've got a Sureflex slipper clutch. A slipper and a centrifugal are different, so if you don't know the difference, a centrifugal is basically just, if you don't hit the gas, you're basically in neutral. You could stop the bike completely in any gear and it won't move. Once you hit the gas, it'll move. A slipper is basically just it's the same functionality as a regular stock clutch, other than it allows the rear tire to rotate kind of in like a control drift for backing it in into corners and stuff like that. So that's what I have set up for that. And stainless steel valves. I don't know other really more than that. To tell you, I was kind of wanting to do a video when I get the engine back here. I'm going to do that, and you can see how nicely powder coated and some of the other stuff I have for it. So I'll probably end the video now. Just get one more good look at the bike. And then if you guys just want to subscribe and like the video, you know, leave comments. You hate it, you like it, whatever. I mean, I know it's the internet, so there's going to be trolls out there, so whatever. I got pretty thick skin. The military does that to you. So other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video.